Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for The Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time. It's a movie starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Gemma Arterton, who I mostly remember from Clash of the Titans, as well as Ben Kingsley and Alfred Molina, who is excellent in The Sorcerer's Apprentice, as well as Spider-Man 2 slash Homecoming, or whatever the last... Anyway, so this movie is based off of a video game, sort of. So, a video game series. There's been a bunch of Prince of Persia games. It started off in like a 2D or a side-scroller style and then went to 3D. And then they had a bunch of various 3D sequels to it until they just didn't have quite the same quality and they wanted to focus more on the Assassin's Creed, because I think it's by Ubisoft, if I remember correctly. I've played the Sands of Time 3D video game, and basically how that worked is like as you killed enemies, you would fill the sand to be able to go back in time. But in this movie, the dagger has magical sand inside of it, and if you press the button, you go back in time for up to a minute is how long the original thing is filled for. And they basically find one other source of magical sand. So basically, throughout the whole movie, you get like maybe a grand total of 2 minutes of going back in time. So, in the games, it's all about using the various dagger abilities and the going back in time bit for like when you try to do a wall run and you fuck it up and then you gotta redo it. Like, lots of sand used in the games. So how do you pad the runtime of a movie where that's not a feature that you get to use all the time because you gotta find magic sand? Well, you get Jake Gyllenhaal and Gemma Arterton as well as Ben Kingsley and Alfred Molina to fill the time. That's what you do. And I gotta say, I love Alfred Molina's character. He has the best comedic timing. You see a little bit of it in the Sorcerer's Apprentice and in the new Spider-Man where he's Doc Ock. Like, you see a little bit of it there, but here he just goes full ham, and it is great. Every second that he's on screen is just fantastic. I also love many things about this movie, including Jake Gyllenhaal's whole outfit, whole look, everything. Like, I love how Jake Gyllenhaal looks in general. I love most of his movies, and I love that he is a buff, awesome, I love the garb that they have for him. I've heard that it more mirrors some of the, like, his outfit more mirrors, like, one of the later Prince of Persia games, even though they're going off of the Sands of Time. I don't care. I really like how he looked in this show, and I think it really worked. I also really like how he sounded. I liked the accent thing that he put on. I thought it really worked. Gemma Arterton, I don't know her from much outside of Clash of the Titans. She was okay. Like, she was fine. Like, I mostly know her from this movie and that movie. Clash of the Titans wasn't the greatest movie. This movie, she does what she needs to, but they don't have the best chemistry, I think, but they have enough chemistry. They have enough to service the storyline. And Ben Kingsley does a fantastic job as always, but I really liked the pacing of this because this movie came out when like parkour was a big thing, and so you get to see a lot of parkour in this, and that just gives it a nice energy to it. Plus, Jake Gyllenhaal's swords is awesome, and I love a good desert environment and medieval time periods with like a little bit of magic mixed in, and yeah, it totally works for me. Everything on this show, on this movie, just works for me. I enjoy rewatching this movie whenever I do rewatch it because it has good pacing, it has excellent visuals. You get to see the physicality of the actors, and it's rated, I want to say it's PG or PG-13, but unless you're really looking for it, you don't notice how like non-gruesome / mostly nobody dies in this movie that you would like, even though there's a good amount of battles. You don't notice the things that they do to not show like gruesome death. Like, I would say that if you like the Scorpion King, you would probably like this movie. And I like the Scorpion King. Also the Mummy movies. They're not in the same universe as this movie, obviously. But if you like that level of like danger, but not like scary danger, and just not too much camp, but just enough like levity from the actors and the tones that they're using, it really works for this movie. I know this movie didn't get as big of a box office because there was I think there was initial plans to like maybe make sequels, but it didn't make enough money. I don't know why. This movie is really, really fun time. I mean, National Treasure got a sequel, but somehow this movie didn't. I don't know. But at the same time, this movie does work in and of itself, and maybe having a sequel would have ruined it, but this movie definitely works and is a fun time, good pacing, and essentially, oh, by the way, the story is Jake Gyllenhaal's character is adopted into the royal family, and then they take over a city, and then the king is murdered, and he's blamed for it, and so he has to try and prove his innocence, and storyline ensues. So yeah, I enjoyed the character establishing moments in this, and then just everything about this movie. It's a really fun time. I enjoyed it. I love where the things take them, and how they establish as Jake Gyllenhaal's character being a good guy, and Gemma Arterton's character, and just the back and forth that they have. It's fun. It's a fun time. So if you're looking for a fun action movie with levity and whatnot, and again, you like those other movies, definitely give this movie a watch. It's worth your time. That's all I have for this one. Thanks for watching. Bye.